6 a.m. on your Tuesday morning. In the news today, Governor Scott Walker set to unveil his budget later today. A look ahead to some of the big issues already facing opposition. Plus, Ashley Furniture facing some big fines for what OSHA is calling work-related injuries. The company responds. And the proposed waterfront hotel in Sturgeon Bay goes to another vote tonight. Details into the ongoing battle. We'll get to these stories and much more right after your first forecast. Brian, we're expecting a little bit of snow today. Little flurries in this February day, huh?
Exactly, and a little bit colder too. Here's a live look outside our Green Bay Tower cam where some light snow will move in late this afternoon. And I think this morning we're going to be fine. Much of the day will be dry, just a little bit chilly. Now, as we look at the temperatures this morning, it's 3 in Oshkosh, 6 below 0 this morning in Wautoma, 8 degrees in Oconto. As we look across the state, you do have some clouds out there, but the snow is still way to the west. So we don't have to worry about the snow until afternoon. And by the 4 o'clock hour, though, we could have the snow with some slick roads, creating a slick evening commute. Much more on that coming up.
It's our big story. Governor Scott Walker will unveil this year's budget plan later today. Some big issues are expected to headline his address at the state capitol. They include plans to cut $300 million from the UW system and borrowing more than $1 billion for road projects. The governor is not expected to announce any tax increases, even though the state faces a possible $2 billion shortfall. Many Democrats are already opposed to the governor's budget plan. They want him to raise the minimum wage and restore cuts to public schools. Some Democrats say they feel the governor's focus is no longer on Wisconsin.
I think that he's looking at what will look good for him in the presidential run, not as concerned about what's best for Wisconsin right now.
This comes following reports that Governor Walker has expanded the staff of his Presidential Exploratory Committee. He has hired a communications director, a senior advisor, and a couple people to oversee polling. Now, Governor Walker's budget address begins at 7 o'clock tonight. NBC26 will have a crew in Madison, and we'll have your live coverage starting at 5 p.m. New this morning, Wisconsin-based Ashley Furniture has to pay more than $1.7 million in fines. The factory in Arcadia has had more than 1,000 work-related injuries over the past 3.5 years. OSHA's report says one worker lost 3 fingers in July while operating a woodworking machine without required safety mechanisms. The U.S. Secretary of Labor says, quote, Ashley Furniture has created a culture that values production and profit over worker safety, and employees are paying the price. In response, Ashley Furniture released a statement saying in part, quote, the company strongly disagrees with each and every one of the agency's assertions and believes the proposed penalties are grossly inappropriate and overzealous. To clarify, OSHA's announcement is not a finding of fact, but rather an allegation. Charges dismissed Monday against a key suspect in the Laura Plowman murder case. Outagamie County District Attorney Carrie Schneider asked a judge to drop the charges against Candy Sivany. Sivany and her mother Diana were set to stand trial for the 2007 shooting death of Laura Plowman. Another woman, Rosie Campbell, was sentenced to 5.5 years in prison in exchange for testimony against the Sivanys. Investigators say the Sivanys hired Campbell to shoot Plowman. When Campbell backed out, Candy Sivany killed Plowman at her Greenville home. Candy's defense attorney says the state had no choice but to drop the charges after a recent search of Campbell's jail cell showed she's not a credible witness.
They found handwritten statements by Rosie apologizing to herself for all the bad things that she's done in her life, apologizing to the Plowman family that she's been lying all along, and that she doesn't know anything about what happened on that day.
There is no statute of limitations in Wisconsin for first-degree intentional homicide, so charges against the Sivanys can be refiled at any time. The Neenah Police Department is investigating a fake phone call about a shooting in a Neenah neighborhood. Sunday night, someone called the police and said someone had been shot at a home at Henry and Adams Streets. Patrol officers and the SWAT team got involved and determined no one was even living at the home. SWAT team members went door to door, and neighbors say they didn't know anything about it.
Probably costs the city a lot of money and taxpayers a lot of money for stuff like that. So yeah, time and money and effort is, not good out of anybody's pocket.
The investigation is still active as significant police resources were wasted as a result of this hoax. Contact the Neenah Police Department with any information you might have. Happening right now, New England deals with a second blast of winter weather this morning. The storm that hit Wisconsin moved its way out east. Heavy snow is closing schools and grounding planes there. It's even forced a celebration for the Super Bowl winning Patriots to be pushed back a day. Some places are dealing with a foot of fresh snow after last week's blizzard left behind about 2 feet. But no worries here. All flights are running on time out of Austin-Straubel International Airport this morning, although some flights are still canceled in and out of Mitchell International Airport. Now this month, the Wisconsin State Patrols is reminding drivers not to drive too fast during winter conditions. They say driving at posted speed limits when roads are snow-covered is too fast, and it is actually illegal to drive at speeds that exceed what is reasonable. A violation of the law costs $213. Brian joins us now with a look at your weather. Brian?
Makes sense to me. Here's a look at the temperature trend. 19 degrees for your high temperature today, 14 degrees on Wednesday, 12 on Thursday. Back up to 25, though, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Warmer this weekend, right around normal. The normal high for today is 25 degrees. So chilly these next few days, including this morning. 5 degrees in Clintonville, 3 in Appleton, 6 below zero, the current temperature in Wautoma. Wautoma, one of those typically colder spots, including Anago at 1 degree below zero. Here's a live look up the Leo Frigo Bridge, I-43 at Atkinson Drive. Now, this morning, a nice, easy commute. Your afternoon commute could be a different story. Now, right now, things are quiet across the state, but to the west, you see edging onto our screen, North and South Dakota and Minnesota, we do have some snow. Now, that snow arrives for us late this afternoon and evening, around 3, 4 o'clock for most of us. The heaviest of snow is going to dive to the south of the area across Madison and Milwaukee once again. They're already hard hit from snow down there. For us, we're looking at probably less than an inch of accumulation for most of us. But down towards Fond du Lac, maybe Wautoma, Berlin, you may have over an inch. I wouldn't be shocked if you had some 2-inch totals down there. All right, becoming mostly cloudy with a high of 19 today. Light snow late for tonight. Light snow early, around an inch total here in Green Bay with a low temperature of 8 degrees. Your 10-day forecast is coming up.
More local news now. Sturgeon Bay city leaders expect to decide tonight on a proposed hotel plan. The city council will either approve or deny a recommendation to change the zoning on the site from commercial to a planned unit development. The battle has been ongoing between city leaders and critics of the plan. Protesters were out last week pushing for last-minute supporters.
We don't want a hotel there. We want development that represents and reflects who we are as a community.
In my mind, my decision's not made. The decision needs to be made, once I get all of the information at the council meeting.
The city council meets tonight at 6 at the city hall. State Superintendent Tony Evers will visit 2 Northeast Wisconsin schools today. It's all part of Career and Technical Education Month. Evers plans to stop at Brillion and Seymour High Schools to tour technical education classrooms and meet with students. Now, it might be cold out, but one area celebration is looking ahead to summer. Celebrate De Pere announcing the headliners for their kickoff to summer event at Voyager Park on Memorial Weekend. Saturday's main event will be the Romantics. Lone Star will be headlining on Sunday night, and the event will wrap up with Lee Greenwood on Memorial Day Monday. Tickets go on sale April 1st. Still ahead this morning from UWGB to the Bucks. Basketball highlights are coming up in sports.
Dear the deer. All right, 6:08. Here's a viewer photo from Maya and Shawano. Beautiful shot here. Look at that. Look at that sunset. Gorgeous photo. If you have a great weather photo, be sure to send it to us. I contribute at NBC26.com. Your forecast, including some snow, coming up.